The aircraft are nicely separated downwind. Well, I can see one of them. Bull's aeroplane is about finally to be with us. A truly historic aeroplane. This Vulcan represents the very best imaginative, thinking out of the box virtues of British aeronautical design and engineering. Virtues that in many ways don't exist anymore because we don't build whole aircraft in Britain these days, well, apart from the Hawk. This aeroplane that we're going to see in a moment in all its fantastic live grace and power is a unique piece of flying history. So we should enjoy it and appreciate it and remember it, because once this aeroplane stops displaying, we'll never see its like again. She's gone through enormous troubles, this aircraft. Multi-million-pound resurrection in October 2007. All last year she attracted record-breaking audiences in the few shows where she performed. Waddington, Lowestoft, Farnborough, Lucas. She was designed in 1948. It's a long time ago, inspired just before his death by the man who designed the brilliant Lancaster bomber, Roy Chadwick, who died in 1947. And when the prototype Vulcan, the Avro 698 tailless Delta, first flew in 1952, it created an extraordinary reaction. Within 10 hours, it was clearly as manoeuvrable as a fighter, and the following year, it was being rolled, this huge bomber, by its test pilots, even at the Farnborough Air Show. They eventually built 136 of them. Imagine rolling a bomber that size with 5 crew, maximum all-up weight 112 tons. And with its contemporary bombers, the Valiant and the Victor, it has been designed to carry the British nuclear deterrent. When submarine-launched nuclear missiles came along in the 60s, Vulcans lost their awesome responsibility of providing the quick reaction alert, QRA, nuclear deterrent, and became instead it was the longest bombing raid in history. And the pilot flying this Vulcan today, out to our left, is Martin Withers, DFC, the man who captained the Black Buck raid on the Falkland Islands. Here she is. See where Concorde got its good looks from, can't you? This was a forerunner of Concorde. This was not a supersonic jet, but high subsonic. But look at that shape, isn't that something quite extraordinary? I think she is so beautiful that she counts as art. She is aerial art. And she belongs to all of us. She is the people's aeroplane. We've spent £7 million getting her to this state. Now, the object of all this is to bring her back and give her back to us, the people. That is the sound of 4 Rolls-Royce Bristol Olympus 202 engines, 16,400 pounds of static thrust each. Funnily enough, she's about the same size as a small Airbus airliner. She's 111 foot in wingspan, the Airbus is 111 feet long. She's 105 foot long, the Airbus 103 foot in wingspan. But she's nearly twice as heavy at 112 tons. Half as much power again with her 4 big engines. and capable of carrying 21,000 pounds of bombs. That's nearly 9.5 tons, which is what she took down to the Falkland Islands. Pulling round into a complete circle in front of us. The next time we see her, I expect the bomb doors to open. There they go. There is the bomb bay that carries those 21,000 pounds of conventional bombs. Well, Vulcan always used to set car alarms off in the great days of its displaying, last displayed in 1992, before last year that is. And I hear that she's still setting them off now, which is good to hear. Bomb doors will be closing as she comes round. The campaign to get this aeroplane airborne again has lived on a knife edge since its earliest days, surrounded on all sides by naysayers and doommongers prophesying ongoing disaster. And there have been many near disasters. She failed in the first Heritage Lottery application, then succeeded against the odds in the second, several times almost going bust, having to have the staff all given a month's notice. She didn't make last year's Falklands anniversary deadline. That got the critics really going, but always pulled back from the brink to watch for the bomb doors closing as she goes by. Martin Withers flying her. The man who flew aircraft down to the Vulcan Islands. Alongside Martin Withers, the co-pilot Kev Rumans, who also used to fly on Vulcans, and the third man of the crew, the air electronics officer Barry Macefield, who was actually a member of the first crew that was going to fly to the Falkland Islands, but had a technical problem which caused Martin Withers' crew to take over and actually do the operation. This is her final pass coming up. She's coming by for the last time. So we'll see her come by at 300 feet, and then we'll see the coals poured on, and maybe we'll hear that famous Vulcan howl of the four Rolls-Royce Olympus engines. But here she is. She does exist. And isn't she just fantastic? Because that certainly wasn't full power. See the extraordinary shape of those wings with the kinked leading edge. The original Vulcan had a straight leading edge, but this was much more efficient and caused and sorted out some problems with handling and stability. Heard it, the famous Vulcan howl. No other aeroplane makes that extraordinary sound. And there she is, spiralling away, going back home now. She's heading back to Bryce Norton, where the Royal Air Force have been very kindly looking after her. But I can hardly believe it. for instance. She's even going on to the continent. Next week she's going to Vulcan in the Netherlands. She may be going to Belgium at the end of the year to Sunny Col. There's been all sorts of other shows here in Britain. So wonderful to see the Vulcan. Well, we're running up now as the Vulcan departs to the finale of today at Cosford, which is the Aerostars, the Yak 50s of the Aerostars, 6 aircraft. We saw them taking off before the Vulcan arrived to grace us with her again. There was quite a while where they wouldn't